but you are love. These people are getting you to stay in fear. They are the ones that are supposed to pull you back in. So do you drop in doubt? Go heal it out. Okay. You don't live there anymore. So when you start to mm, surround yourself with your energy field, your inner world that creates your outer world, you then allow yourself to create a support system. That's what you're doing out there. I have my needs. They're not clearly not in here. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So you go out there and you look for Joe Schmo or Lindy Lou or whatever. I don't know any names. Don't know how to insult nobody. But what you're doing is you learn to give up yourself and attach yourself to others because your littles believed the gods. What they don't know is when you get older, well, crap, they were just like people that had issues too. So what you can learn is now I put up a video yesterday. So here I am getting ready for my show. Obviously, no volume. Hey, come to the show so you can find out where I have been, why I haven't been able to do the show for 2 weeks. It's been an interesting ride and find out what. Aren't you curious? I am. Let's investigate together. Medicine Woman Solution. That's SOULTION. Come to the show, find out what happened to me on my birthday, find out how healing yourself can help out in such major ways, and what kind of healing tools should you use, how should you use them. We're going to learn it all. See you soon on YouTube. Now that, remember, hit like, and if you make a comment, that helps boost my ratings. But what happens is then there was a comment. See, I had put it in my group and I loved the comment. Let me see. So beautiful Angela there decides that she's going to comment. So thank you for doing that. Your name will go into a drawing. And it says, bless her heart, but she doesn't let anything hold her back. And then Spirit replied as, I'm thankful for the experience as a child to not have anyone there for me. What? Aren't I supposed to complain and cry and tell my story that nobody was there for me? And no, because the wisdom taught me that I learned to resolve. The frontal lobe has this unique way that says that you are meant to seek out the instinct of survival. Without it, it's called a lobotomy. You would just give up and die. And fear taught that I am abandoned. Love taught me I love myself to get up and survive and thrive. Why did Spirit want to say it that way? Is again, in your frontal lobe, which creates reality. A baby, as soon as it's born, goes, oh, I don't know what this is that's going on in my knee and my tummy. I don't even know I have a tummy yet. But, well, they can't really wiggle, but they do it, and they will scooch, and they will root, it's called rooting, for the mother's milk. It's an instinctual thing. But we know that when we put on that emotional body, that mental body, and then we look at how the world communicates with it, we then rinse and repeat the hell loop. I'm done with it. So I loved how Angela wrote that. And then Spirit just said, look, we don't have to look at these bad things as a bad thing. It was meant to teach you what? Wisdom taught me, God, I got a gift to resolve to evolve. Here I am today teaching you guys hashtag resolve to evolve. So when I hurt myself, I never had anybody there for me. So now that I've hurt myself, my husband's like, what are you doing? I heard you holler. I picked up a paper bag. Brenda. Well, I'm used to doing it myself. Well, he says, you got to get used to the fact you have me here. Yes, I do. Can you go and move that so I can walk? Okay. I'm not used to asking for help. It's not that a pride thing. It's a built-in thing that was,
See a need, I'll fix it, feel it, heal it, whatever I need to do. Because I can. When I have asked in the past, because I was in my pain and my agonies, it would be, wait, with people that were in my life, it could take 6 months that they're going to finally see that my need to move that. Oh, God, fine, I'll do it. With resistance and hate. That's not a relationship. I learned even then when I had this big, huge wall curio cabinet that my mother-in-law had bought and left behind when she passed. I needed it to be moved. It was basically 8.5 months. Yes, I counted. And finally, it's like, oh, well, thank you, Spirit. What should I do? So I sat there in my vision reality, which if I hadn't created that moment several times over, I would have never known that gift. So wisdom says, just sit there, ask Spirit, and watch. So as I'm watching, I know that this cabinet needs to go out into the two skinny doors around the corner, and so that it can display and showcase this beauty, right? Where I want it. I didn't go, I can't. Oh, this is too hard. I just said, I sat there and I'm expanding the space by saying, thank you, Spirit. And then all of a sudden I got in the idea realm. Bam! Oh, well, if you did this with this, all of a sudden, no, that wouldn't work because I'm okay, having a conversation. I'm holding a meeting with the best, so why not, right? So I keep doing it over and over, and I go, not hitting a brick wall and going, no, I'd be like, yeah, I can see why that wouldn't work. All right, let's go another angle. Let's do this. Let's do that. And the next thing I know, what do I do? I got done vision reality. Didn't even think about what I'm going to use really to move it. And it was out there already. And 3 hours later, it's like, stuff's putting in it. Shut up. He comes walking over. What the hell? You can't wait. Oh, the degrading, the bitching, the moaning, the abuse. I'm like, really? Shouldn't you be happy that you didn't have to do it? It's only been 8.5 months. Oh, see, you're stubborn. You can't wait. I says, insulting me so you feel better because you didn't do it. Is that supposed to, whatever. And then I would never say that out loud. And then one day I just had healed so much that it's like, do yourself a favor. Go feel your pain and take it out on something else, not an animal or me or a plant. Go take it on one of your games. Go on. And I sounded like I was not caring, but I just said no to the scalar field that we were sharing that I don't need to show up that way. I don't even need you to show up that way anymore. So we can get to the wisdom. Heavy duty thinking about this a lot, about how I really need to make tribal about the levels, not hierarchy, ecology, how we all live together and how all these energies about honoring, not a separated God, no, to honor that moment of consciousness. So my husband says to me, honey, we really have to do something about that tree because the neighbor, stuff's falling on the neighbor's thing. And I know that we need to, I says, I said, well, go talk to it. I says, before you do anything, just tell them your plans and you'll get a note, you'll get the answer. You just say, thank you, Spirit, and tell them what you need. And I says, well, let me say goodbye to that tree first, because if you're planning on taking and removing it, because it's too in ground, once you take the roots, you're going to break the taproot and it will die. And I didn't have to say goodbye, because then I said, come back when you've got, you've chatted with the tree. And I said, oh man, I just had a thought from that tree. That tree was the one that gave us white flowers so that you could create an altar and call the angels to help us get together. Yeah, it's a simple thing and it was fun to do because it's a ritual type thing to do with angels. It's wonderful. And then all of a sudden he's, oh man, I can't do any of that tree. I said, go still talk to it. So he goes out. I don't even think it was 10 minutes. He comes back, honey, look, look. And I said, what? The tree told me how I can make it live and still fix the issue. I said, oh, you expanded your vision. That's a little MWS vision reality, eh? And what the tree did was say, look, I have a bush. You can cut the top down all you want. I can turn it into a bush. The tree is ready to have a bush. It's got all this beautiful flourishment at the bottom. So he was such a happy thing. The tree got to stay, and communication with the consciousness says, I'm ready to transform into something else. I don't need to be the tree. I like being a bush. So when you think you've come to the end of your rope and you have to stop, just sit back and thank you. Just sit back in a vision reality and say, thank you, spirit. How? What are you going to do? And if you don't think that you're like going, oh, I need to kill that off, or I need to destroy that chair. No, just sit and just be with the consciousness. Yes, consciousness. Yes, consciousness. It transforms itself into whatever you want. Consciousness. Talk to it. Like I didn't go out and buy all these pieces at one time. I bought all these pieces separately. Amy even sent me these. I bought this in Nimbin in Australia. I think Amy sent me this shirt. I got this sweater for my birthday a few years ago. This one woman crocheted me a hat and sent it. And what do? I said, what color today? My husband goes, I have no idea. I said, wait. I know. I like this shirt. I have a feeling that I want to wear this shirt. So I put blue on. And then all of a sudden I was like, he goes, oh, now you got to have a sweater. I go over to the closet and I got them all over the place. In a drawer, on a hook on the other room, hook in the other room, this there. And that. I'm like, okay, well, let's look in this one closet. Oh, what caught my eye was the fudgy. Don't never put it in the dryer. Screws it up. But fudgy. And I said, oh, fudgy's coming along. I put fudgy on and all of a sudden it's like, wait. A little bit on Nimbin. Oh, yeah, we're going to put this. And my hair just didn't cooperate. So it's like, we work with it. Hair, what do you want to be? I like to be under a hat. I'm like, all right, you got two. Let's go. So this is what came together today. I worked with consciousness. I communicated with consciousness. And this is how it came out. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, there you go. We're going to use some vision reality. Thank you. So what, you really need to understand that it's you and consciousness. Yes, some frequencies are better, some materials are better, but this is where I also want to go into the next level. So you can work with your materials. I have something at home that consciousness is, and the world says it's bad, and I say, it's okay, I love you. And all of a sudden, this guy's full of life. That thing will support me. Yeah, will support nobody else. But it loves me. I love it. I even was talking to a banana I'm about ready to eat. And that banana looks at me and goes, are you eating me today? Okay. I'm like, you're adorable. You look like a smile. Oh, I thank you. We are going to be integrated and you're going to give me support. I'm going to just, put you in, the banana peels can hang out with the birdies. They can do their thing. It didn't see it was dying. It saw it as, I'm a banana and I have purpose. It was the happiest little banana that was going to get eaten. It didn't see it as torture. It saw it as, I got a purpose and I'm going to live it. And it isn't about how ego goes, no. So, excuse me. So, how you do things is how you have in your filing cabinet.